I saw in a video the other day where they were using a store-bought spring-loaded tool that started off as a fishing tool to open up a fish's mouth so that you can get the hook out. They were using the spring-loaded tool as a pot holder for their water bottles. But I'm cheap, so I decided that I was going to end up making my own. This material here is 1/8 inch brass brazing rod. This material here is 1/8 inch steel zinc coated fencing wire. The brass will conduct heat a little bit better, but the wire is cheaper and it's a more common material to have around. So let me check to make sure that the camera is pointed in the right direction. Turn it a little bit. So in order to make one of these, out of one of these, what you're going to need to do is turn around circle into the straight piece and then make some custom bends on the end. The easiest way to do that is to measure your wire, find your middle, make a mark. This is a 17-inch piece of wire, so my mark is at 8.5 inches. Then I'm using a piece of 1/2 inch black iron piping, and you use it as a mandrel to bend your wires around. And you bend them until they reach a point where your outside pieces are out at about 30 degrees. Okay, from there you either pound nails into a piece of wood and use it as a mandrel, or you buy a custom bending device. But what I do is take the tape measure, start at the base loop, and mark your wires at 4 inches. Then put the wires in your bending mandrel, and you bend outwards at until they're about 90 degrees or so. And you end up with something like that. Then your next bet is that you want these to be sprung pretty stiff. So your next step is to give these ends just a little bit of a bend to the inside. When these tabs are long, you're gonna have to hook them a little bit more than after you've got them trimmed, but they're easier to trim to the right length once you got them crossed. Alright, this is your stow position right here. And what you're going to do once they're crossed is you're going to want to trim these to about 1/2 inch past your bend and cut them off. Stiff wire, it's easier to score it first and then bend it with the pliers. Alright, so you're going to end up with something that looks like this. What you can do is you can take it around the pipe one more time, and you can put 3 spring coils on there, but I really haven't seen the advantage over just having one loop. And this will fit and work on the small bottle. This is a 16-ounce bottle. This is a 40-ounce bottle with a narrow neck. This is a big name brand. This one's a Clean Canteen with the wide neck, and it works just fine here too. And when you're making these, you can adjust these lengths as much as you want. As long as it'll fit inside your bottle, it should work just fine. But you can put this, you can cross these, it'll fit inside the small bottle, the bigger bottles, without any issues at all. And you can tell that this just took me a couple minutes to make, and it slowed me down because I had to stop and explain my steps. I turned all 3 of these out in less than 15 minutes, just experimenting with different turns, with different bends, different materials. I've got some heavier brass. I'm thinking about making a longer one. But that's about the right length for this one anyway, so I don't know. Because I have a brass one for this one, I think I'll make a brass one for this one too. So that's where I'm at next. See ya.